moving on from the success of my lemon pie that we made and freeze-dried, which was absolutely gorgeous, I wanted to come up with something better than my previous maraschino cherry pie that I did, because that was a bit complicated and it didn't freeze-dry very well. So I thought, wouldn't it be interesting to see if we could work something out with Google's Gemini AI? Just see what they come up with. So I went to Google Gemini AI and told them I wanted to create a pie that was maraschino, creamy filling with an Oreo crust, with that nice dark chocolate flavor. And we chatted away, me and the machine, and came up with a recipe that just sounds perfect, and it sounds really, really easy to make. And it's a no-bake pie, and we'll get into the pie filling later, but first we're just going to start with a basic Oreo crust. Now this recipe is going to be for a whole pie that we're going to eat fresh, and we're also going to make a tray of squares that we're going to freeze dry. And we'll compare the two and see how they taste separately. So to start off with, I'm going to make my Oreo pie crust. And for that we need 30, this is what Gemini AI, it gave me everything I needed. I might do a video just going through the whole process of what I went through, but it'd be too long to include in this video. If you're interested in that, me making a separate video of the process of using Gemini to create your own new invention, so to speak, let me know, and I'll record that video. But anyway, we came up with 36 Oreo cookies. Now, the reason we're having 36 is because that's more than what you would normally use for a pie, but we want to garnish our squares with Oreo as well. So 36 standard Oreo cookies, 6 tablespoons of unsalted butter. We're going to melt that in the microwave, and a pinch of salt. Now, the butter I have is already salted, so I am going to omit the pinch of salt. So let's get this in the microwave, and I'll start crushing my Oreos. Actually, I'll just crush my Oreos first. You could do this in a mixer, blender, but I don't want a dirty one, so I'm just going to do it with a rolling pin and a gallon Ziploc bag. So that's 3, 6. This is a very noisy process, so I will turn the camera on pause, and we will get these all crushed up. Okay, you may have noticed when I put these Oreos in the bag here, we did not remove the cream. And the reason we did that is because that cream is going to help this crust bind together along with the butter. So I've melted my butter in the microwave. That took about 45 seconds to a minute. I did it in 30-second intervals. And now we are ready. Now, first thing I need to do is we need to take 1/2 cup and put that aside. And that's for our garnish on our squares. Alright. The rest of this will dump into a big bowl. And we're going to take our 6 tablespoons of melted butter. Put that in there and get that all mixed up. You want to get all those crumbs well coated in the melted butter. Just like that. Now I got a 9.5-inch Pyrex pie dish. We're going to dump our moist crumbs in there. Kind of spread it out. And I'm going to use a mixing cup. You can use any kind of flat thing you got, and we're going to kind of spread this out along the edge here. And I'm just going to kind of firm it up again a bit with my fingers. Just like that. Now, my fingers are all messy, so I'll be right back. All right. Now, I'm going to take this pie crust and I'm going to stick it in the freezer. I got enough room in there to freeze this and let this stiffen up, harden up, so, or firm up, I guess is the phrase you should use. And I'll leave it in there for about 20 minutes. Then we'll come back and we'll go ahead and make the filling for it. It's going to be easy. I'll see you for the filling. Okay, while that pie crust is cooling in the freezer and setting up, firming up, let's go ahead and get our Jello going. Not Jello, our filling going. And what we're going to do first, let me tell you, I am using beef gelatin powder. Now, Jim and I came up with using, what's it say here? 1.5 envelopes of unflavored gelatin. Well, the gelatin I got isn't in envelopes, so it says you could approximate that at 11 grams. So let's put my scale on, get that to grams, and we'll put 11 grams of gelatin in here. There's 11. 11.3. There's 11 on the money. Just be aware you could use 1.5 of those pouches. You can get the gelatin at any supermarket. I think it's called Knox brand or something. It's normally with Jello. So take that, and it says to sprinkle that over 1/3 cup of water. And this is called blooming the gelatin. All right. And we're going to let that sit for about 5 minutes. So I'll see you in 5 minutes. Okay, that's been 5 minutes. Now it says to microwave that for 35 to 45 seconds until clear. Okay, I went with the 45 seconds. There's a little bit of foamy on the top, but the liquid looks clear. All right, what's next? Now we're going to add my secret ingredient, the Reese's Maraschino syrup. And that is 1/2 cup. Now, this is one specific item that I requested that Jim and I use because I love this syrup. This is got the true maraschino flavor. I've tried all the other brands that I could find of the maraschino syrups on the market, and this one by far well surpasses anything on the market. So it's a little bit expensive. I ended up getting this bottle off of Amazon. My store didn't sell it. They used to. If you go to the Reese's website, do a Google search for Reese's Maraschino syrup and bring up their website, they do have a locator map where you can put in your zip code and see if it's anywhere in your area. But if not, you're going to have to go to Amazon. But this stuff is gorgeous by far. So anyway, I just want to let you know that you got to use for this recipe Reese Maraschino syrup. And we are going to put 1/2 cup. Oh man, you just smell that beautiful maraschino. We're going to mix that in with the gelatin. And we're going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of almond extract. Make sure you go for the pure almond extract. 1/2 teaspoon. And 1 teaspoon of real lemon juice. So I'm going to use the half, so we'll do 2 halves. Oh yeah, it's going to be good. All right, now we need to let this come back to room temperature. Bearing in mind that my pie crust is still in the freezer. I did see on here that it says to freeze it for 20 minutes. So by the time we get this all run through off camera and what I show you on camera, it'll have been 20 minutes. I'll let that come to room temperature and I'll see you then. All right, it has come to room temperature. And I'd like to just go over why I decided to use the gelatin version. Originally, it was suggested to make a mousse using pasteurized egg whites and whipping those up into a meringue. And I just don't feel comfortable with egg whites. So we chatted back and forth and came up with basically the way we made my lemon bars in a previous video. We're going to make a mousse of that texture. It was light and airy and beautiful. So that's what we came up with. So I just wanted to clarify, because that mousse with meringue sounds delicious. But we're going to go this way. All right, so now for the mousse filling, we are going to take 1 pint, 16 fluid ounces, or 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. And we're going to get that all whipped up till stiff peaks are formed. So put my 2 cups of cream in there. And to that we're going to add 1/3 cup of powdered sugar. And let's get that whipping. All right. So that's it. Took a minute or two to get that up to a stiff peak. Now we're going to put this on low speed. And we're going to drizzle this in, the gelatin, and get that fully incorporated. All right. Let's get some of that off. The white that's in the center did not get mixed in. So let's get that all mixed in with so we don't have no white streaks in that. Let's fill our pie crust. Doesn't that look pretty? All right. Now we're going to stick that in the fridge and chill it for 6 hours. And we're going to take what's left of this and put it in our tray for freeze drying. We'll put the dividers in like that. So we end up with 4, 8, 16 squares. So that's going to have to do. We'll get this in the freezer, get it frozen solid. Next time you see this, it'll be coming. No, wait a minute. Wait a minute. We got to garnish it with our cookies. Almost forgot. All right, let's see what that tastes like with some Oreos on that. Fresh. Oh yeah, it's gonna be good. All right, now we'll get this in the freezer. Next time you see it, it'll be coming out of the freeze dryer. I'll see you for the fresh pie. Look at that beautiful pie. I don't know if my camera's gonna show up the prettiness of that pink, but it looks delicious. So I have this in the fridge overnight. So let's cut into this and just see how good our Gemini AI assisted creation is. All right. Getting that out was a little bit of a chore. Let's take a squirt. Like that. A nice drizzle of chocolate. And of course we got to top it off with a cherry. Let's get a close up of that and we're going to dig in. All right. Let's see what this came out like. Oh my God. Oh man. That is pure heaven. That cherry flavor. Mmm. That is a gorgeous pie. You are going to love this, and you know what? This was really easy to make, wasn't it? Oh man. That cherry filling is just so airy. Mmm. Oh man. So, I know my channel is a freeze drying channel, and as soon as I finish eating this, I'm going to fire up the freeze dryer and we're going to freeze dry those squares. But my God, I hate to say the Lord's name that way, but this is just beautiful. It is absolutely gorgeous. Mmm. You get that real maraschino cherry flavor. Chocolate covered cherry. Maraschino cherries is kind of what I was going after. Mmm, mmm, mmm. I want you guys to comment below what you think of this pie. I'm especially interested if any of you guys actually make this, because it's really easy. The hardest part is going to be getting the syrup, which I ended up getting from Amazon. But my gosh, this is just so easy. Or maybe you guys have another flavor of pie you want me to create. Oh man, this is so good. This is an original. AI helped me create this pie. Would you believe it? All right, here we go. My freeze-dried chocolate maraschino clouds. Seal those up. Let's see what they taste like. Very sweet. I'm going to say these are enjoyable if you enjoy sweet stuff, because they're very sickly sweet. The maraschino cherry flavor is not as pronounced as I would like it to be. It's an enjoyable sweet, but I would have wanted that maraschino to really pop like it did in the pie, the fresh pie. You really get that flavor of maraschino cherries, and it's just delicious. It's to die for, the fresh pie. And this is good. So we'll call it a success, but I'm going to call it like a 4 out of 5 stars. And I'm happy with the pie. My main goal was to create a really good pie, and we did that, and I'm super happy with it. The freeze dry, I mean, it's nice, it's sweet, it's sugar. So 4 stars out of 5, and I thank Google AI for the recipe on making that pie. We created a really good pie. I strongly encourage you to try that pie because quite simple. Frankly, it's very simple to make, really. I mean, if you can whip heavy cream up to whipped cream, which, by the way, you could probably use Cool Whip. Well, we use fresh heavy cream, whip that up, and make gelatin, which is, we used unflavored gelatin and added some cherry syrup to it, you know, simplifying it all, and put it all, combined it all together, and we came up with a beautiful pie. Very easy to make, really. What else can I say about that? So, Google Gemini hit the nail on the head when it made the pie. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this little experiment. That's all it was. That's why we had just a small tray, just to see how it happens. We don't always get the perfect solution on the freeze drying part. Like I said, it's very good, very sweet, not a lot of cherry flavor to it. So, that all being said, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I'd like your comments below. You know, tell me what you think. And I'd be interested in if you've tried any desserts that normal people wouldn't think about freeze drying. Because you know me, I like my sweet tooth. I gotta feel that sweet tooth somehow. So comment below and just let me know what y'all think about all this. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time.